All praises and thanks are due to Allah. We praise Him, we seek His help, and we beg for His forgiveness. We seek Allah's refuge from our evil deeds. Whomever Allah guides cannot be led astray, and whomever is led astray shall find none other than to guide him. I bear witness that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah alone, who has no partner, and I bear witness that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, is his slave and messenger. The Chief Justice of the Federation, represented by Justice Ridwan Abdallah, the executive governors of Kwara State and Oshun, that of Kwara, our chief host, His Excellency Abdurrahman Abdul Razak, and also the representative of the governor of Oshun State, justices here from the Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, High Court, particularly our Grand Qadis here, the Director General of the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, our brother Professor Abdul Qadir Ibrahim Abikab, the representative of our royal father, the Emir of Ilorin, being represented by a respected scholar and also a traditional title holder, Professor Yusuf Ali S.A.N., academics here present, senior advocates of Nigeria here present, legal practitioners. Permit me also to recognize the national president of the Muslim Lawyers Association of Nigeria, Barrister Said Muhammad Tudun Wada, and the entire members of his executive, and also the chairman of various states of MULAN here present, the learned ones here present, and even the unlearned ones here present. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I just recall that even the Chief Judge of Kwara State is here with us, and also the Grand Qadi of Kwara State, they are all here with us. I believe that the list of the protocol is very long. Permit me to acknowledge and recognize each and everyone here present with us by praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to guide and make each and every one of us very successful. Today is the 18th of Zulqa'dah, 1446, after the Hijrah of our beloved Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam from Mecca to the city of Medina, and also as written here, the 16th of May 2025 Gregorian. We begin by thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the opportunity to converge here in Ilorin in order to witness the 16th annual General Conference of the Muslim Lawyers Association of Nigeria. We are grateful to Allah for the opportunity, and we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to guide the Muslim Lawyers Association of Nigeria and put the reward of their good deeds in the scale of their good deeds on the day of judgment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala overlook their shortcomings and their limitations. Furthermore, I am grateful to MULAN for inviting me to serve as the keynote speaker of the 16th Annual General Conference taken here in Ilorin. I am not a lawyer by profession, but I am glad to be in the midst of lawyers. Based on the report I read yesterday night, probably we have around 1,200 lawyers here. And it is difficult for a layman to stand before lawyers and speak. Because as you always say that the ignorance of the law is not an excuse. So each and every statement we make before you, we know it has its own implication. And I do hope that after the presentation, I am not going to be interrogated. And I will not be able to proceed with the presentation until and unless I get the clearance that I have immunity during this presentation, so that there will be no any interrogation. So the president of MULAN has indicated to me that I have absolute immunity within the time of my presentation. and I do hope that that immunity will be endorsed by the representative of the Chief Justice of the Federation. Okay, he has endorsed that immunity. So as a technical person, this will give me that privilege to speak before you without looking at the implication of each and every statement I'm going to make. The theme of this year's MULAN's conference is Artificial Intelligence, Law and Religion in Nigeria. This theme is very apt, particularly if we look at the three key words. Number one is artificial intelligence. Number two, law. Number three, religion. Three of them within the context of our country, Nigeria. Most probably, I cannot recall any theme that is more important than this globally when it comes to the issue of technology or education. Artificial intelligence is a product of Industry 4.0, which commenced from 2001 to 2003 up to 2015 this year. We can safely say that the fourth industrial revolution commenced around 22 to 24 years ago. And the fourth industrial revolution is the most developed revolution, the most developed technological revolution that the world has ever witnessed. If you compare the success of the first, second, and third industrial revolution combined together, even though they set up the foundation of the fourth industrial revolution, you will strongly agree with me that the most developed industrial revolution is the fourth industrial revolution that we are witnessing today. Like in the area of blockchain technology, cybersecurity, nanotechnology, biotechnology, quantum computing, cloud computing, augmented reality, virtual reality, Internet of Things, and 5G, including artificial intelligence. From all these technologies of the Industry 4.0, which commenced around 24 years ago, the one that has been recognized globally as the most important one, and the one that has been exploding for more than 15 years today, is the artificial intelligence. Arguably, artificial intelligence is the most important technology in the whole world. According to the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, he said, probably the most important thing that the human being work on throughout human history is artificial intelligence. It could be the most important thing that the human being work on it throughout human history. Artificial intelligence comes up with so many benefits on one hand and so many challenges on the other. As we are recognizing the benefits of intelligence, many challenges being brought by artificial intelligence as well. It is because of this Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla and SpaceX, recently said that artificial intelligence is a fundamental technology. However, if care is not taken, it will bring an end to human civilization. According to Stephen Hawking, he said that if care is not taken, artificial intelligence could bring an end to human race. It is because of this that artificial intelligence is a double-edged sword. It could be deployed for good and for evil. And this is what brings about the need for the regulation and the ethical standard when it comes to the deployment and even the development of artificial intelligence globally, particularly in Africa, where we have uncountable number of challenges at the moment. In summary, artificial intelligence can be defined, according to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, as the development of computer science in the area of algorithms, statistical methods, and computer programming, to the extent that a machine can perform the actions being conducted by a human being. What artificial intelligence is all about is to deploy a machine that can perform an action that is being done by a human intelligence. We know the cognitive functions of a human intelligence. These cognitive functions that we all have, like listening, learning, reasoning, decision making, problem solving, among others. So in a situation where a machine is developed and deployed, and this machine performs an action that is supposed to be performed by a human being, that machine is called an artificial intelligence. Because as human beings, we are natural intelligence or human intelligence. When a machine performs our action, that machine becomes an artificial intelligence. So there are many artificial intelligence systems in military, in security, in commerce, in the legal profession, in education, in health, in agriculture, in any field you think of. There are so many applications of artificial intelligence that are being deployed today to perform our actions. In some cases, with even higher precision and accuracy than the way and manner we do things. So artificial intelligence is a double-edged sword. It could be deployed for beneficial reasons, and it could also be deployed for evil reasons. And it is because of this, it is one of the most fundamental technological advancement that if care is not taken, it will be a weapon of destroying the whole world. Today, crimes are being committed globally using artificial intelligence. Legally, if you look at it, that machine cannot be held responsible. For you to identify where the fault arises is difficult. And there are so many instances in the US, in Asia, in Japan, South Korea, in Malaysia, in the United Kingdom, in Germany. There are many instances today where artificial intelligence related technologies are committing crime. And when they commit crime, it becomes absolutely difficult to know who operates the machine. And even if you know him, it's difficult to know where the problem arises, whether it is from the hardware company, or from the software company, or from the artificial intelligence application, or whether from the manufacturer, or whether from the operator. And there are so many instances that I do hope we can speak on them superficially in the course of our presentation. While the law, I am not a lawyer, and I'm not here to define what law is all about. But as a layman, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, I know that the law profession has been defined as the set of rules of action or conduct prescribed by a controlling authority with a legal force and binding. So what we can be able to grasp from this simple definition, that law is all about having some instructions, some rules in place. These rules are being controlled by an authority, and this authority will ensure compliance, and where there is no compliance, there is going to be consequence. This is what the Black's Law Dictionary defines law in summary. If we look at artificial intelligence, law, and also religion, I'm not here to speak religion because I believe we need to save time and speak more on AI rather than that aspect of religion. Particularly, the national president spoke on religion, about the universality of Islam when it comes to acquiring knowledge, and there is no need for me to repeat what he earlier read in his opening remarks. He recited so many verses about the universality of acquiring knowledge in Islam. And if we look at it in our constitution in Nigeria, 1999 as amended, section 38 and section 40, there is freedom of religion. The constitution allows all and sundry in Nigeria to exercise and practice their religion. And this is just in summary. And if you read the Noble Quran, you will discover that many verses speak on acquiring knowledge. For example, going through the book of Al-Islam wal Ilmul Maddi, a small flyer, page 3, the author clearly stated that if you read the glorious Quran from beginning to the end, you will discover that over 750 verses speak on acquiring knowledge, the universality of knowledge, and the benefits of acquiring knowledge. And these verses are not restricted only to acquiring religious knowledge, including worldly knowledge, because in Islam, Allah is the source of all knowledge, whether it is religious or worldly knowledge, knowledge of technology, the knowledge of law, knowledge of science. Any knowledge is from Allah, as long as that knowledge is beneficial to humanity. So that is why when Islam speaks about acquiring knowledge, it's not only about acquiring religious knowledge, like how to observe 5 daily prayers, or how to fast in the month of Ramadan, or how to perform pilgrimage, or the knowledge about the oneness of Allah. You will discover that these verses speak about acquiring knowledge in general, knowledge that is beneficial to humanity. That is why one may safely say that Islam is knowledge, and all sound knowledge is Islam. The two are synonymous. Knowledge has a transcendental value in Islam. And according to the interpretation of Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, while explaining the content of Surah Al-Baqarah, particularly verse number 32, he says that the Quran has expounded to us that Allah is the source of all beneficial knowledge, whether religious knowledge or worldly knowledge. And that is why if you go through human history, even in the field of science, you will realize that our forefathers, Muslim forefathers, were the global giants of this world at certain time in the history. They were the intellectual giants of this world. Go and see what Islam did in Biladul Andalus, the modern day Spain, places like Madrid, Granada, like Mallorca, Zaragoza, Cadiz, and the entire Portugal as a country, and some parts of France. And this is more than 800 years ago. Go to Baghdad and see how our forefathers excelled even in worldly knowledge. Go to Egypt, the ancient civilization. Look at what our forefathers did there over 1,000 years ago. It is because of this that we can safely say that Islam is knowledge and all sound knowledge is Islam. The two are synonymous. And not only in Islam, even in the Bible, if you read the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 15, the position of knowledge has also been mentioned. That an intelligent heart acquires knowledge. The same in the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 10 and 11. In all these places, even in the Bible, you will discover that the position of knowledge has been enunciated effectively. So in summary, what I intend to say here, whether it is in Islam or in Christianity, knowledge is universal. In addition, when it comes to Islam, the knowledge of artificial intelligence, one may wish to say that Islam is the source of artificial intelligence. The backbone of computer science and the backbone of artificial intelligence today is algorithm. And the father of algorithm was a Muslim scholar by name Abu Abdullah Muhammad bin Musa al-Khawarizmi, who was born in modern day Uzbekistan. He was born in 780 CE and he passed away 847. So he lived in this world for 67 years. He is the father of mathematics, the father of algebra, the father of algorithm, and the father of astronomy. So one may safely say that the ancient father of artificial intelligence is a Muslim scholar by name Abu Abdullah Muhammad bin Musa al-Khawarizmi. Because there is no application of artificial intelligence that can function without algorithm. Not only artificial intelligence, all the branches of the emerging technologies we earlier mentioned, like cybersecurity, nanotechnology, biotechnology, quantum computing, cloud computing, data science, among others, none of them can function today effectively without an algorithm. And he is the founder of algorithm. In fact, even the name of algorithm was derived from his name Al-Khawarizmi. So historically, he is the ancient father of artificial intelligence. And also his work was supported through statistical models with other leading Islamic scholars like Ibn Khaldun, who was born in the modern day Tunisia in a city called Hammamat, and also like Muhammad bin Ahmad al-Jiruni. These three people are the ancient fathers of artificial intelligence, statistical model, and the entire mathematics in general. So in summary, we can say that artificial intelligence is beneficial applications of artificial intelligence are recognized and permissible Islamically. In August 2022, I was invited by ISESCO. ISESCO is an acronym of Islamic World Educational, Cultural and Scientific Commission, with the headquarters in Rabat, Morocco. The 53 Islamic countries globally came together and established ISESCO. I was invited in October around August 28, 29, and 30th as an expert to review the proposed AI charter for the Muslim world. And that charter was adopted by the 54 Muslim countries and 4 observers on 25th and 26th February 2025 during the annual general meeting that took place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And it could be available online, entitled as a Riyadh Charter on Artificial Intelligence for the Islamic World. In that charter, it has clearly been explained that artificial intelligence is beneficial and also harmful. As I earlier mentioned, it's a double-edged sword. It could be deployed for good and also for evil. Some of the major recommendations of that charter for the Muslim world. Number one is we must encourage our younger ones, our young innovators, to partake in artificial intelligence research and development. And secondly, we must mentor them and ensure that all their AI innovations are beneficial to humanity, not harmful. Number three, we must ensure Islamic ethics are respected when it comes to the developing artificial intelligence and its also deployment. And finally, we should try to be proactive, not reactive. Today, if you look at it, you will discover the Muslim world is more of a reactive rather than proactive when it comes to excelling technologically. Our forefathers excelled. They were even leading the world. If you go through the golden age of Islam, you will be very proud of our forefathers. Unfortunately, the situation is not the same today. And that is why you will discover the Muslim world. So Muslim countries are investing heavily in technology. Only 3 days ago, when the president of the US visited the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, they signed an agreement of a deal of 600 billion USD. And around 20 billion USD is only to establish artificial intelligence data center. 2 years ago, the Saudi government announced an investment of over 40 billion USD in artificial intelligence only. And this is very important. And this is the proactive nature that we need to adopt and ensure that we are all successful. When it comes to the artificial intelligence, as I earlier stated briefly, there are so many benefits to attain. Number one, when artificial intelligence is deployed, it increases precision. Number two, it enhances accuracy. Number three, it saves time. Number four, it saves costs. Number five, it improves efficiency and productivity. Number six, it helps in problem solving. Number seven, it supports you in decision making. These are some of the major benefits of artificial intelligence when deployed effectively. And artificial intelligence is very relevant even to the legal profession. As a layman, I know some of the functions of a lawyer, like advising their clients, number one. Number two, drafting documents like wills or contract agreement or proposed bill. Number three, representing their clients in court. Number four, conducting research, because lawyers are researchers. Number five, lawyers can also negotiate agreements or settlement of any dispute, even outside the court. Number six, I know part of the functions of a lawyer is interpreting laws. Even the lawmakers are not interpreting our laws, but lawyers and judges can interpret our laws. So it is the responsibility of a lawyer to interpret our laws. And number 7, case management. A lawyer can manage your case effectively. So these are some functions of a lawyer. From these 7 functions and activities that I stated, 6 of them today, artificial intelligence can support you effectively. And sometimes it can do even 90% of the work for you. Representing the client in court is the only work of a lawyer today that AI cannot be deployed to do it. But even when it comes to the court proceeding, today we have virtual courts. There are virtual courts all over the world. In Canada, they have virtual courts. In Malaysia, they have virtual courts. Even in Africa here, South Africa, Uganda, Egypt, there are virtual courts. So AI can support our lawyers today in research. They can support our lawyers in coming up with recommendations and advising their clients. AI can support you to excel in research. AI can support you in drafting a document today. So there are so many applications of AI that are beneficial and also very relevant to our lawyers. Some of them like Kira, K-I-R-A. It is an AI-related application that is applicable to the law profession. There is also ROS Intelligence, R-O-S-S Intelligence. It is an AI-powered application that is applicable to the legal profession. For example, there is also LawGeez, G-E-E-Z. It is another AI-related system that is applicable to the law profession. These are some of them, and you will discover that when you master them, they will enhance your efficiency and also your productivity. So AI is beneficial, and it could also be harmful. When it comes to our laws in Nigeria, as earlier recited from my citation, I happen to be the Chief IT Regulator of Nigeria from 2016 to 2019. As a regulator, I attended some law courses and I studied the rulemaking process. Because of this, I led a team that developed 13 regulatory instruments, and all of them are part and parcel of our regulatory instruments in Nigeria today, and they are being under the supervision of the National Information Technology Development Agency. And also as a minister, I supervise certain number of regulatory bodies like Nigerian Communications Commission, NIDA, National Identity Management Commission, and Nigerian Postal Services. All of them are regulatory bodies. With this, I will be able to speak on the provision of AI we have in Nigeria and also the gaps that we must work harder in order to ensure that we bridge. When it comes to our law, as of today in Nigeria, there is no principal legislation in AI. We have subsidiary legislation, but there is no principal legislation of AI, except a general legislation that are dealing with the emerging technologies or the entire information technology development and deployment. And when it comes to the general laws, we have like NIDA Act 2007, Section 6. The law empowers the agency to develop and regulate IT in Nigeria. Artificial intelligence is part and parcel of our information technology today. However, while in office, I led a team that developed 2 principal legislations. Both of them are executive bills that became our law today. Executive bills that initiated from the executive arm of government. So both of them, I led a team that developed them and presented both of them at the Federal Executive Council. And after the approval of the Executive Council, they were forwarded to the National Assembly, and after their hearing, they were returned back to the presidents of Nigeria. Both of them assented to it. The former president, President Buhari, assented to the one, and the second one was assented by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Both of them, I initiated them while in office. Number one is Nigeria Startup Act 2022. It becomes a law on the 18th October 2022. It was assented by the then President Muhammadu Buhari. This law is relevant to artificial intelligence. However, it covers the entire emerging technologies or the fourth industrial revolution. And the major benefits to attain is with regards to AI innovation and supporting our young innovators to excel in AI by providing IP, intellectual property, providing grants and loans for them, mentorship for them, among many other benefits to be attained. And the second law is the Nigeria Data Protection Act 2023. It becomes a law in June 2023. I led a team that developed the bill, and I presented it before the Federal Executive Council. It was forwarded to the National Assembly, and it was returned to the then president 2 days to the end of the administration, and the President Buhari left it on his table. And the new president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, assented to it within his first 2 weeks in office. And that gives us the Nigeria Data Protection Act 2023. And that brought about the establishment of the Nigeria Data Protection Commission. However, the commission was established as early as 2022, but using a policy instrument. But we were able to get the enabling law in 2023. These two documents are very important. Why the Nigeria Data Protection is important is because of the fact that with AI, if data protection is not enforced, then our fundamental human right with regards to the provision of Nigerian Constitution as in Section 37 is going to be compromised. There is no way without data protection you will be able to manage AI. You will understand this when you look at the quantity of data being generated today. And you will also realize why AI is inevitable to legal practitioners. Lawyers do not take decisions based on hearsay. Usually lawyers are researchers. Before they go to court or before they advise you, they must go through relevant laws, relevant government policies, other legal judgments, and they will go through so many documents that are related to that case. Today, with the quantity of data being generated, it is practically impossible in some cases to review all the documents manually or using Google machine, even though Google machine is an artificial intelligence related system itself. I usually give an example that from the dawn of civilization to 2003, that is only 22 years ago, the quantity of data generated within that approximately 5,000 years, 5,000 years from the dawn of civilization to 2003, the quantity of data generated within 5,000 years approximately was 5 exabytes. 5 exabytes. Today, according to the International Data Commission, World Economic Forum and others, the quantity of data generated daily is 400 exabytes. Look at it. The quantity of data generated within the last 5,000 years up to 2003 was 5 exabytes. But today we are generating 400 exabytes on a daily basis. Do you know exabytes? You are lawyers. Exabyte is 1 with 18 zeros. Technically, you know there is kilobyte. 1,000 kilobytes will give you 1 megabyte. 1,000 megabytes can give you 1 gigabyte. 1,000 gigabytes can give you 1 terabyte. 1,000 terabytes can give you 1 petabyte. 1,000 petabytes can give you 1 exabyte. This is exabyte. And 1,000 exabytes can give you 1 zettabyte. 1,000 zettabytes can give you 1 yottabyte. 1,000 yottabytes can give you 1 brontobyte. 1,000 brontobytes can give you 1 geobyte. It is about the exponential growth of data. So in summary, the data being generated today daily is approximately 400 exabytes, while the entire quantity of data generated within 5,000 years, approximately up to 2003, was only 5 exabytes. This is to let us know that the quantity of data being generated, if care is not taken, there will be no any privacy in the future. Even the smartphone with you is recording all your activities. Your steps are being counted. Your locations are being recorded. Sometimes your smartphone will only send you your history. 5 years ago, some images you snapped, some places you visited, collecting data about yourself, to the extent that today our smartphones know us better than how we know ourselves. They will record all the places you visit in Ilorin, from your arrival to your departure. Even the time you spent sleeping is being recorded. Your records are there. Only yesterday, we were speaking with one of my team members, only trying to search something. We mentioned something, Ilorin, Kwara State. Then, by typing the first letter in Google, the entire name was given. Why? Because the system sometimes will capture your voice and make recommendation to you. Only by typing the first letter, the entire sentence was provided by Google. So it is because of this, privacy is part of our fundamental human right according to the Constitution of Nigeria, 1999, as amended like Section 37. But if care is not taken, there could be no privacy in the future. Because absolutely, WhatsApp will always tell you that is end-to-end encryption. I agree with this. However, all your conversations, your messages, your videos, your images that you share with others are in their database. Whatever you share, I have no doubt, is in their database. They could not tamper with it, but when the need arises, some authorities will definitely have access to it. Because even in Nigeria, we know there is a privacy provision in our constitution, but still in Cybercrime Act 2015 as amended, we have also lawful intercept. That security institutions, when certain conditions are fulfilled, they are permitted to do lawful intercept. When a prima facie case is established, they are permitted by law. So this is to show to us that some challenges being brought by artificial intelligence, if we fail to enforce the provision of our laws when it comes to privacy, then definitely that is going to be challenged. With the Nigeria Data Protection Act, I believe that has been covered significantly. And many African countries are struggling to have their Nigeria Data Protection Act in place. And we know that of EU data protection regulation. Some of the challenges being brought by artificial intelligence, particularly to the legal profession. Number one, as we earlier mentioned, the issue of privacy. Number two, has to do with who is to be held responsible when a crime is committed. Today, we have AI-powered deep fake attacks. AI-powered deep fake attacks, where AI is being used to commit crimes. Deep fake attacks took place all over the world. 3 to 4 years ago in the United Kingdom, in an energy company, the CEO received a message where the attackers mimic the voice of his colleague, the CEO of the same energy company in Germany, reaching out to his colleague in the UK, requesting him to urgently transfer $240,000 to him because of an emergency case in Germany. His colleague, CEO of the same energy company in the UK, immediately transferred the money to him with the intention of refunding after a few days. He couldn't get the money after a few days. Then another conversation came in requesting additional fund from him without making reference to the previous fund that he released. And he became suspicious. He changed the channel of communication and reached out to his colleague in Germany, and he discovered that there was no any request from him. So that $240,000 that he transferred is only through scammers, which is almost 400 million naira today. Up to today, more than 3 years, the case is pending. Why? Because it is AI-related crime, and there is nobody to be held accountable for that. Another example is the issue of AI-related phishing attacks, where the attackers use artificial intelligence application to forge your email address account, capture your words that you use in writing mails, reach out to your staff or to your colleagues or to your friends, and ask them for certain favors. When that favor is done and you discover that it is an illegal one, nobody is there to be held accountable. And there are so many instances like this today in India. And all these crimes are being committed by artificial intelligence related systems. Another interesting case that took place in Florida in the United States of America, just last year, an orphan by name Sewell Setzer deployed an artificial intelligence system for children, for games, to the extent that he was having conversation with that system. He used to speak to the system, and the system used to reply him. His mother, by name Menga Garcia, she was not able to monitor what was happening with her child. But he focused more on having conversation educationally, sometimes on sport, sometimes even sexual related activities that were beyond his age. One day, he was having conversation with that system called character.ai, meaning character.artificial intelligence. AI is the acronym of artificial intelligence. And he said to the system said that, I am willing to welcome you with an open arms. And the boy understood that the system was like requesting him to commit suicide. And he asked questions about suicide, and that AI system guided him on how to commit suicide. Or let me say, misguided him on how to commit suicide. In the end, that orphan committed suicide. Through following the stages provided to him by an artificial intelligence system. The mother filed a lawsuit. Up to today, the case has not been concluded. Why? There is nobody to be held responsible or accountable. Firstly, the mother filed a lawsuit against that character AI and Google. Google said there was no fault with their system. Their system only gave an answer. That character AI said there was no issue with their own system. Hardware company defended themselves. Software company defended themselves. Who is to be held accountable? This is a major challenge today, where artificial intelligence related systems are even misguiding our children to commit crimes. And there is nobody to be held accountable. As I'm talking to you today, the case has not been concluded because there is nobody with clear-cut evidences to be held responsible. And there are many examples with drones, where drones are committing crime. Even what happened last year in Kaduna State, Tudimbiri, where some people that are having their procession during our religious activities were attacked by a drone, and many of them were killed, and most of them were children. Up to today, even on media, you cannot judge where the problem arises. Military defended themselves. The operator defended himself. Then who is to be held accountable? And sometimes the AI-related system committing crime, you will not even be able to know the operator. They are only sent to commit crime. Even if you hold them, if you capture them, you will not be able to know from where they come to you. This is a challenge to the legal profession. Because of AI today, you don't know where your private data is resided. Your conversation on WhatsApp, your messages on WhatsApp, they could be in a database in the US. Our laws in Nigeria are not applicable to their database. So data sovereignty is another challenge. A company operates in Nigeria, but their database or their headquarters is another country. And the laws that are applicable are the laws of their headquarters, not your local laws. These are some of the challenges being confronted by the legal profession, being brought forward by artificial intelligence advancement. And I believe we have some vacuums in Nigeria that we must ensure we come up with relevant legislations to address these challenges. If I am to advise, I can advise that in Nigeria, we should have National Artificial Intelligence Development and Deployment Act. National Artificial Intelligence Development and Deployment Act, or National AI Development and Deployment Act. Because the development, we must ensure that there are certain ethics and rules to be respected. Otherwise, all the crimes being committed today by a human being, like terrorism, like banditry, like kidnapping, in the next few years, AI will be committing the same crime. Will be committing the same crime. So that is why there must be a law about the development and the deployment. Furthermore, we need a law on National Artificial Intelligence Accountability and Liability Act. That is, who is to be held accountable. And this law should address people involved in the development of technology, the deployment of technology, and the operation of technology. Otherwise, many criminals will resort to the use of AI where nobody is there to be held accountable. As I'm talking to you today, we have so many cases as announced even by government institutions, where crimes are being committed in Nigeria using drones. And these drones are being powered by artificial intelligence systems. Criminals are deploying drones today to commit crime. They don't need to travel physically. They can send a drone to commit crime and come back. And if that crime is committed and you are able to shut down the drone, who is to be held accountable? Nobody. And this is very important. Otherwise, as earlier mentioned by many global intellectuals like Stephen Hawking, Elon Musk, and many others, that the challenges being brought by AI could bring an end to human civilization. And also AI is making us today to be very docile and weak intellectually. If you depend so much on AI, you will discover that even your intellectual capacity is dropping. That is why I always recommend that we use AI to improve. When you conduct your research, AI can help you to edit, to review, to amend. But if you rely on AI to be drafting documents, drafting agreement for you, advising your clients, conducting research, you will reach a situation where your brain will become very inactive. The calculation we used to do offhand 30 years ago, 40 years ago, today a simple computation, you need a calculator, even using your mobile phone to do that. Spelling is becoming difficult. Why? We rely on the recommendations being made by our system to recommend the spelling, whether British or American, and you only select anyone. When it comes to you writing, you will see yourself wanting on simple issues on how to spell some words. And the situation was not the same 30 years ago. So relying so much on technology is reducing our intellectual capacity. There is no doubt about this. So we need to improve. Human brain is very big. The storage is very big. Most of us are using less than 1% of their brain storage today. Less than 1%. Because the capacity of your brain, even scientifically, is more than 2.5 million gigabytes. So with this capacity, you will discover that most of us are using less than 1% of their brain storage. And technology is making us to become too lazy to the extent that today it's difficult to do things manually as we used to do. And I do hope that we can only deploy technology for the good, and we also deploy AI in order to improve, not to rely on it completely. And furthermore, we must ensure that we are proactive as an ummah to be in the forefront when it comes to the development of AI, not to be reactive. My time is off as earlier indicated, and I will clear the screen and shut down the lecture and retire. Once again, thank you very much for listening. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The gift, present the gift.
Okay.
And I'll be inviting the representatives of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, my Lord Honorable Justice Redwan Abdullah. Can you please come up? And the other national president, Sayyid Muhammad Tinubu, both of you will come to do the presentation to our keynote speaker here in our appreciation of what we did here today. My Lord, can you please come up here, sir? Any chairman, Mother State House, my constituency, now in fact, we are well seated. Honorable Justice President, customary law of our Ilorin State. Thank you. We are not done yet.
Okay,
On behalf of the Muslim Lawyers Association of Nigeria, MULAN, I have the honor to present this plaque to our amiable Professor Isa Ali Pantami, CON, Majidadin Dauran Ismail, in appreciation of your contribution to the success of the 2025 MULAN in your capacity as a key speaker. This day is the 16th day of May 2025 and the 18th day of year 1446 after Hijrah. With my pleasure.
Thank you very much for congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much, Prof.